very good Friday afternoon wherever you are around the globe. Welcome along to eRacing Grand Prix. We've got a brand new series coming for you. The first of 4 series that we're going to bring you from the Philippines edition of eRacing Grand Prix. It's all the brainchild of Alex Young. And Alex, your fame is spreading far and wide all over the globe.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to start the Philippines edition. You know, we've been there many times. There's a great community of esports there, especially the e-racing community. So we wanted to do this. You know, we've had a lot of entries in the global edition, as you know. So this is the first of 4, as you said. We're going to host it every Friday. We're going to follow the similar sort of format we do in global, you know, where we'll have an AM class and a pro class. For the AM drivers, you know, the drivers who maybe don't drive so much. And it's also for those guys who have just started. And the pro class for those guys who are on the sims every day. You know, they're just non-stop. I mean, they're going a lot of them are going to do today and then do global again tomorrow.
You can follow us live on Twitch, on Facebook, and on YouTube. It's eRacing GP. Do join us. You can get a backlog of what the global edition has been achieving, and we're focused, though, very much a local focus, the Philippines. And you've split them up into 2 groups here, amateurs and the pros. It looks like just on the starting grid for the amateurs, we're going to have 12 races or so out there. The guys are going through a little bit of practice of the Sepang circuit at the moment. Anything more than 10, I think you've got to be pretty happy with that kind of an entry list. Anything up to 20.
Yeah, absolutely. It's because of the shutdown, because of the coronavirus. We're working from home. Got lots of time on our hands, and we thought, let's really make ourselves really busy. So we thought, yeah, let's do it. We announced a leaderboard a few days ago, and we had a whole bunch of people sign up. So it's good to have them on board, and it's also just try and expose ourselves and expose them to different forms of racing, and maybe try and bring up the professionalism as well, so they can enjoy that too.
We'll focus on the amateurs in just a moment, but you've got some prizes both in the global edition, which is a terrific prize, but you've got some prizes for the Philippines edition in both categories.
Yeah, so to enter this one, the Philippines edition, because we want to really attract the newbies, it's completely free. You just have to download the game. We're only using cars and tracks that are free. So we're using the Aquila CR1 car, which you can just get when you download the game, and we're using tracks like Sepang. We start with Sepang. We go to the Race Room Raceway track after that. Then we go to Portimao, which is a great track in Portugal, I believe. I think it's Portugal. And then we finish off with Sepang again. So all these tracks are free, so you don't have to pay to enter this championship. And the prizes are kind of cool. Race Room kindly are giving prizes for every race. You get virtual points, which you can then use to spend within the game, in both amateur and pro class. But the pro class also has a nice special prize, which is they get a free Razr phone, the Razr 2, which will go to the champion of the pro class.
Thanks to the sponsors for keeping us involved, and for all of those entrants. It's still 12 entrants who have put themselves on the screen for the amateur race. Let's focus now on the amateur race. And you say it's for the newbies, but the guys have got to invest in a reasonable amount of equipment to actually get themselves competitive at this level.
Yes, that's very true. You do, if you want to be pretty good, you need to try and have a rig, a steering wheel, to complement the PC. And I see some guys that have very expensive rigs, which can be quite expensive, but I also know a lot of people who have homemade rigs. My son races on a homemade rig, so that didn't cost us anything. Just some sweat and labor from a friend of mine that I had to drag in to do it. So there are a lot of good second-hand steering wheels and pedals as well that go quite cheaply on the market, although demand is pretty high at the moment. Obviously, with the coronavirus, these rigs are getting snapped up all over the place. But if you really want to go dirt cheap, you can use keyboard and mouse. We have a racer in the global edition, and we'll do a piece on him tomorrow, in the GT4 class, who races only on a keyboard and mouse, and it blows my mind because he's pretty damn quick on that thing.
Yeah, if you look back on the library of some of the work that Alex has done, he actually goes through the rigs that you can actually get yourself set up, from the very basic up to the very sophisticated. But the ultimate ambition of this and all of this, you're actually trying just to combine the virtual to reality. So the sim racers and the real racers on the same track, competing one-on-one against each other.
That's true. In the Philippines edition, I think there are a couple actual car races in the pro category. AM category, there are a lot of new names there to me, so I'm not really sure on that. But yes, we've had a lot of pros come and join us. Like in the Global Edition, we had Eduardo Mortara, the Formula E race winner, Jan Erlichet, Arjun Maini, the F2 driver. So we had some really good drivers there. But they're up against the best sim drivers in the region in that category, and it's really tough for them. It's very hard for them to win. But it's good. It's nice to mix it up. It's also nice to bring those two bodies together, it's also nice to show people, because there are a lot of eyeballs on eRacing now, how exciting motorsports is. I think people forget that motorsports is exciting because they watch Formula 1 mostly, and Formula 1 can be a bit dull. But this sort of racing with these sort of categories, with reverse grids as well, it's like MotoGP. You have overtakes very often, and especially on the last lap.
Okay, let's actually begin to get some focus going on the amateur levels. They've got about 4 more minutes worth of practice that they've done, and you picked out a couple of racers who may well have a bit of an advantage, and one of them's on shot at the moment. Gav Quintos is probably one of the better known in the amateur category that you've got. The other one that you mentioned is LJ Mutuc, but LJ hasn't put a time out so far. So let's just focus on Gav Quintos and tell us a little bit about what you know about him.
Okay, so it's a lot of second-hand knowledge. I've been obviously asking the guys in the groups. So both those drivers you just mentioned, Gav Quintos in screen right now, they've been doing sim racing for quite a number of years, quite a long time actually. But as I understand, they don't drive that much, and they're not perhaps in that category where you'd set them in the pro category, whereas those drivers are on the sim every day, and they're very serious. So this category, for lack of a better word, is to allow the drivers who maybe aren't at the same level as the pro guys, but can drive and enjoy their racing, so the intensity is not as high. And also, we need a category like this so the beginners can come and join. Because if the beginners come and you put up in the pros, they're going to get slaughtered, simply. And it's no fun, when you're getting, especially if you're under pressure all the time, you're spinning off just trying to keep up. That's no fun. So it's nice to have categories like this, which is a bit more relaxed, enjoy the racing, because at the end of the day, it's about having fun, And as you enjoy the racing, you get a bit more serious, and as you come on and get faster, then we'll put you up to the pro category.
Fastest time that we've had so far has been posted by Erwin Ramos, who is currently in the pits as we speak at the moment. The track that you've chosen at Sepang, it's very there's an awful lot of gradient in there. I'm always surprised when I go to Sepang how much you've got to climb and how we drop, and some of the curves particularly are very, very steep and difficult to control. Yeah,
you're just looking at the last corner. Bernardo's going into the pit lane, but he was just going around the last corner. The last corner's got a lot of reverse camber even. So that's always an amazing thing, isn't it, Des? Because when you actually go to a racetrack after being watching it for years on TV, you're always surprised, hey, this track actually has a lot of camber. So on TV or on the computer screens, it's very hard to see that camber, but you're right. Like this point here is turn 11. Turn 11. It's pretty much the highest point in the track, and now you go downhill to turn 12, which is a very, very fast corner, over 200 kilometers per hour. Very quick indeed. And look at the guys; they're using a lot of curb there. So that shows these cars are quite pliable, because some cars, you use that much curb, you're going to be spinning off into the distance.
As for the car that they're using themselves, the CR, I've got to confess, it's a brand new one for me. How do you anticipate the control for the guys going on the grids?
Yeah, so these cars have, I think, they're rated like 300 horsepower. They have downforce. It's like a prototype car. It's like a CN car class sort of car. So it does have produced a bit of downforce. It's quite a fun car to drive. Got quite a bit of understeer. I got on it the other night. So you have to learn how to drive a car with understeer. They're perfect for learning how to drive.
So we've got 12 racers out there who've put in practice times. Qualification is due to kick in any time soon. This is round 1 of 4 that we've got for the first of the regional competitions, eRacing GP for the Philippines edition. This is the amateur class. On board there with Keanu Dominados, the names we will get used to as we go around. Now the format that you've got for the races when they go in, it's a 15-minute race, which is quite a long time. You can afford to make a mistake. Not too many mistakes, as we're seeing from Keanu there, but you can afford to make a mistake and have time to recover.
Yeah, you can. We consider 15 minutes. They're definitely sprint races. But yeah, you know, so we will see some of these drivers spin out. A lot of them. I was looking down the list and I was talking to a couple of them yesterday. Are complete beginners. So, you know, this is going to be a very exciting race for them. You know, when you first do your race, you know, it's one thing when you're practicing at home, but when you actually get into a race situation, the blood goes up, the butterflies in the stomach really start coming in. And a lot of these drivers are going to be feeling that. So I'm anticipating quite a few mistakes. But that's all part of the learning process. You know, you have to go through that process where you scare the crap out of yourself, basically. And you have to learn how to control those emotions because... especially in this sort of category, this sort of sport, when you are driving a machine, your machine is your partner. If you can't control your emotions, you become the weak link in that partnership. So it's very important to be able to control your emotions so you can drive at the level you want to drive. And for a lot of these guys, they're going to find out today that it's going to take a little bit getting used to.
I've just seen that LJ Mutoc, one of the people who you identified earlier on as being a potential top contender, is actually just got himself onto the sim, and as qualification starts, he will be one of 13 racers who we are going to have trying to get themselves a decent time in pole. One of the things I'd like you to do, I'd love you to do, Alex, is as the opportunity emerges, give us a flying lap, if we possibly can, stick with one of the cars around Sepang. Nobody is out there setting a time at the moment, but it's Sepang. It's got the 15 corners and there's the 2 long straights to end, which are the feature, but then you've got the undulations as well. If you can stick with a lap, try and talk us around the lap.
Yeah, let's stick with Voltaire Seco. Did I pronounce it right? Seco. He was very quick on the leaderboard during the week. He actually said, I think, a 2:13, maybe a 2:12. Actually, I think he might have been in the 12s even. So he'll be a driver that will be challenging at the front for sure. So now we're watching him come down the start, finish straight to start a lap. Turn one, you brake just after the 100-meter board, and you see how you just kind of pinch in a bit. You turn in a bit early, kind of double apex it a bit. Got to have that late second apex though, because you've got this tight left-hander turn 2 right after it. It dips down quite a bit. You often get the front left wheel in the air as you go through the apex there. Now turn 3, flat out, easy flat. It's not really a corner, except in the wet. In the wet, it's not easy flat, I'll tell you that. And before braking for turn 4. Good overtaking opportunities into turn 4. Turn 1 and 4 are very good for overtaking. Turn 4 is a 90-degree right. Fairly simple. Whoa! As we have a spin, so not that simple. You can obviously spin there and make a small mistake. But this is coming out of turns 7 and 8.
This is Mutoc, one of the ones who you actually said has got a decent chance here. They come up the hill. This is the undulations that I was talking about. As you say, you're into 7 and 8 on the other side of the country, away from the main straights now.
Yes, we are. So just go to the full screen, see a bit more what they're doing. Mutoc, that's correct, Mutoc. Going through turn 12 right now, flat out, turn 13, and then it tightens up a lot into turn 14 here. This is the most difficult corner of the track. When you're new here, I'm not, yes, as I said, it gets sideways. It's very hard to gauge your turn in there because it just tightens up and you're really never sure if you're braking, where to brake, and then when you brake, when the exact turn is. Now you're on the back straight. We call this a back straight even though there's only one corner to go because it's such a long straight and you always have overtaking opportunities braking for this last corner. See, this last corner is like a 180-degree hairpin. It's quite a wide hairpin though, so you don't want to slow the car down too much before getting on the power to cross the start finish straight again. Let's see.
Not quite sure he's been able to set up fast lap time there.
He did a 15.5. It's not bad. He'll know there's a lot more time in it though. He'll have one more enough time to set one more lap, I think. Mutoc had a big slide out of turn 14, so that would have cost him. Now watching him through turns 2, we were on board with someone just now through turns 3. Now this is turn 3. He's not going down to take the apex. Yes, he does. A late apex then. Nice and straight. Down this straight now towards turn 4. Like we said, turn 4 is a 90-degree right. A bit narrow on turn-in. He'll want to be a bit wider next time as he gets on the power. Now over to the right before we come to another 2 fast corners of the track, turns 5 and 6. They just flow right into. You can carry so much speed through 5. It's a lift and then another lift for turn 6 here, this right-hander. for hard on the power. Use all the road at the exit and a bit more, which he did. Well done. And he's gone purple in the first sector, so he's going quicker now through turns 7 and 8. This double right-hander. You should watch him go through that. Yeah, looks just about right. You want to try and be flat through the second part of that right-hander. Now short straight for turn 9. Turn 9 is also good for overtaking here. This tight hairpin that then goes steeply uphill. Oh, don't use too much of the excess road there. Through turn 10, easy flat before braking for turn 11. Turn 11 is also tricky. It's hard to know exactly when to turn in. And he's gone purple again in the second sector. So this is looking good for Mutic as here. Now through turn 12. It's a lift. Yes. Using some curb there. Nice. Through turn 13. Now turn 14, Des. This corner is where he got sideways just now. Can he have a nice clean exit? Much better. Much better. That's going to mean a lot better lap time as he gets a good exit onto this long back straight. Will he have time to complete the lap though? Qualifying is almost over. I'm not sure. I think there is a bit more time to complete this lap. Only 7 drivers have done times at the moment. Mutic is down to 4th position. He was second just now. He needs to beat a 12.4. He's running out of time to set the lap though, as he now goes across the start-finish line. Will he go quicker? Yes, he does. He does go quicker. 13.0.
But still only second faster to Voltaire Seco, who we followed temporarily until he crashed out. And then Voltaire has been able to put in a decent lap time. So it'll be Seco on pole position in round 1 of the Amateur CR1 Cup Philippines Series. You're watching eRacing GP Southeast Asia, brought to you by Race Room and Axel Motorsports. It's the Philippines edition. 15-minute races, and you complete the lap that you are on to actually decide who the victor is. We're just waiting for all the cars to get on the grid. But interesting that Mutic put himself near the pole position. He will be on row 1 of the grid. He was one of the men who you identified. Gav Quintos, though, wasn't so good. And again, one of the experienced drivers is probably going to be a little bit further down on the grid. Start, pretty important in this to try to get yourself in a good position going to turn number 1, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, start's always important, but this is a track you can overtake. If you don't have a good start, there's still plenty more you can do. So really, it's very important that the drivers don't panic if they make a mess or even have a small spin through the first couple of corners, because you can recover. 13 cars on the grid, Des. Take it away.
Yeah, Alex Young alongside Des Corkin. Is a great start from the back by Joriel Cruz. However, the man at the front is Voltaire Seco. Seco in the blue, terrific start. Mutic getting off to a slow start. Erwin Ramos coming through in the all black, but it'll be Seco who goes into the first corner. Seco in P1 ahead of Erwin Ramos. Mutic lost the position into P3, Alex Young.
Yes, dropping back there a bit. But Mutic now challenge for P2. Looks like he's back up into second position at the moment. Yes, he is as they go through turn 3. He likes to take this wide, late apex through turn 3. But Cruz is right on his back. He's going to look down the inside of him into turn 4.
Yeah, Juriel Cruz, the 2 dark blue liveries identical, but the leader is Voltaire Seco. Cruz is the second of them, putting real pressure on them. Behind them, John Lawrence Bernardo is in P4. Beyond them, Jahan Kalam, Darian Panilio. A little bit further down, Gav Quintos, who you expected to do well. He is way off the pace in P12 out of 13 starts.
I think he had that moment down the start-finish straight, so that's put him right at the back. Steven Schwartz right at the back, but I also know he's struggling with the internet connection, so he might be having some lag, and that might be compromising his race at the moment.
This, though, is the leader, Voltaire Seco, in the dark blue. He has got LJ Mutic going on the inside and easing past very, very nicely, although he's got his line completely wrong there. That is one of the problems. Going up the hill, it's so easy to get that wrong, Alex.
Yes, I mean, I admire his aggression, but he just braked way too late there. And had to take to the grass because he wasn't going to make that corner. Never going to make that corner. He's managed to recover second position, though, so that's not too bad. I thought he was going to end up in 4th or 5th after that moment. But he looks like he's got the pace, Des. He needs to just calm down now. Seco has this gap. Oh! As I say that, he spins. Oh, no, he doesn't spin off. That's the lag, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes there is some lag. This is 100% online competition. But yes, he's still there in second position, so there's still a long way to go in this race.
A little bit further down, let's have a look at John Lawrence Bernardino. He is chasing Joriel Cruz for P3. Goes on the inside, there's Bernardo. Can he get through? Joriel Cruz tries to hold on. There is P1 at the moment, Voltaire Seco. The lead is 1.78 seconds ahead of LJ Mutic. Joriel Cruz in P3, and then the red of Bernardo with Jahan Kalam, who's hanging on very nicely in P4.
Yes, trio of red cars. They are red cars, obviously very popular. The race room livery there. He's looking right at the back. It sits John Lawrence. He's right all over the back of Cruz at this point. Yes, he needs to be nice and calm through here. Now we're coming to turn 4. Turn 4 is an overtaking opportunity, but he's not close enough. At this point, as we go back a bit, Dominigo.
Yeah, Keanu Dominado in a battle there with Francis Angelo Gonzalez. Dominado in the black. Right behind them is Gav Quintos. Gav Quintos, I thought was in the all-white livery. He's not quite there. Let's get back on with Bernardo. That's the battle for P4. Seco has still got himself a good 2-second lead from Mutic. Joriel Cruz in the blue. Then Bernardo goes through in the red livery as they come down this sharp right-hand corner. Not too much contact, but a fabulous pace being set by Seco. Last lap, 2:22.413. By far the quickest, going through the inside. Bernardo gets on the inside and is able to hold on. Takes P3 from Joriel Cruz.
That was a really nice move. It would have been very easy to overcook it, but he didn't. He got it just right. Didn't overcook the corners. He's getting sideways. Oh, he just about recovers that. Whew, that was close. And to help it off, the driver behind gave him some more love tap.
Yeah, love tap. I like the way it's scored, but there's real pressure on the back there. Joriel Cruz in the blue. He's under pressure from Jahan Kalam. What kind of line can Cruz get through? This is the battle for P3. You've got Bernardo leading Cruz. Kalam in P5. Maybe Kalam will have a look as they're in the back straight here. The first of the red cars is Joriel Cruz. There is Cruz able to hold on. Bernardo and Cruz goes through. Bernardo in the red. Cruz then loses out, and Jahan Kalam tries to go through. Real competition as they come into the final straight. Seco onto lap 3. He has established a lead, Alex, of 2.2 seconds from LJ Mutic.
Yes, he has. It's a really good job there. These guys scrapping are really helping the cars in first and second move away. Cruz is going to not want to lose touch with the leaders. He was right up there on that first lap. But first of all, he's got to get in front of Bernardo.
Jahan Kalam, this is the man in P5. He's in the second of the red cars. Darian Panlilio is trying to get close to this group. Remember, podium finishers for 1, 2 and 3. It's usual racing scoring format in race number 1. 25, 20, 16, 13, 11, 10 down to the 15th place picking up a single point. So everybody will pick up points providing they finish. Stefan Swab it is, who's a long way adrift at the moment. Darwin Sato just ahead of him. We are though focusing on a very intense battle for P3. Bernardo still holds on in the red. Cruz goes through in the dark blue, and right behind them Jahan Kalam trying still to get close is Panlilio. But this is good pressure from Joriel Cruz. Having made an earlier mistake, he's trying to put the pressure on Bernardo.
Yeah, these cars are coming together. Oh, is Cruz having a look? He looked like he was having a look down the inside, but he was way too far back. Not quite sure what he was doing there. Yeah, so that battle for third is kind of holding things up a bit, because we can see the next 3 cars behind are slowly inching up onto this battle.
Yeah, saw the black car there of Owen Ramos is closing up onto the tail end. In fact, has gone past Panlilio. Panlilio got that last one completely wrong, and Owen Ramos has got himself up into P6. Joriel Cruz in the blue in P4. Jahan Kalam there in P5, and then you'll see the black livery of Erwin Ramos as they come into the back straight. Way ahead, Seco is still extending that lead ahead of Mutic, and those two are a good 6 seconds clear of this battle for P3.
Yeah, look at that. Cruz showing his nose as well. Going down the inside, he's still too far back. I think he's trying to unsettle the car in front. These cars do have mirrors. You can see the car behind you. And that's quite often a tactic. You try and show your nose sometimes, and the car in front can just get intimidated and quite often make a mistake. Doesn't happen so much with the professional drivers, but definitely does happen with the AM drivers, and it's worth a go to have a look at. But also, I think Cruz's driving style, he likes to go for those earlier apexes. He likes to turn in a bit earlier than everyone else. yeah, it's a bit too early in some of the corners, but it seems to be working at the moment.
Oh, spinning out there. That allows Ramos into P5. Jahan Calamities, who loses 1, 2, 3 places and allows even maybe Gav Quintos to get close. But I'm loving the work of Erwin Ramos in the beautiful black livery on these CR1s. He's just quietly moved himself up from 9th place into the top 5. And now he's putting pressure on Juriel Cruz. And you've still got nearly half of the race to go, Alex Young.
Yeah, half the race to go. 7 minutes remaining. Just under half now. So let's talk a bit about tyre wear. There is some tyre wear. Whoa, down the inside. Nice move into turn 7.
Ramos goes forward into P4. It looks like he's learned the track in the first couple of laps, and now he's deep into lap number 4 and has got himself close to a podium. Tell you what though, Juriel Cruz didn't like being overtaken. He's gone straight back down the inside, leaves the braking very, very late, goes wide. Is he able to hold on? The answer is just about. Ramos goes around the outside, reclaims P4, but Juriel Cruz tries hard to come back on the inside. Battle royale between these two for P4.
Yeah, so Cruz now drops down to P5. He'll obviously not be happy with that. He's looking really good on the first couple of laps. Interesting though, he's got some good car control. He just needs to work on his lines a bit more, and he's going to find a lot more lap time.
Temporarily, let's go on to the race leader, Voltaire Seco. Seco has got himself a 3.5 second lead from Mutoc, and lap after lap, Alex Young, as he comes through now onto lap 5, he's just been able to just pull away from anybody else. Mutoc, the only one able to stay anywhere near close at all.
Yes, 3 seconds that gap now. Very good drive by Seco. He's doing a really good job. We saw him spin in qualifying. He was able to put it together for one more lap. Fortunate for him, and he's been rewarded by this great drive. He hasn't been headed since turn 1 of lap 1.
Yeah, he got off to a really good start. He was on the front row of the grid, and here he is coming down the hill. And just have a look at his driving style. It looks pretty neat and tidy, using the right apex to go into this right-hand corner. As you can see, only Mutoc is staying anywhere close to him, but it's very neat, very tidy, very collected driving.
Yes, and his fastest lap, the best lap of 12.4. That matches time in the leaderboard that he did to qualify for this race. So that's a good lap time to do in the race. Mutoc is 13.1. He still needs to find a bit more pace if he's going to close the gap to the leader.
Mutoc is going backwards as we're just staying temporarily through the end of this track with 5 minutes to go with Voltaire Seco. Voltaire Seco, one of 13 races that we've got on the circuit.
Yeah.
Mutoc being pulled. Where is that lead? That lead is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger as he goes round the left-hander corner number 9 into 10 and 11. Little bit further down, Juriel Cruz, he is going backwards. Panlilio has recovered from his earlier problem. And Angeles Gonzalez has made as well. Francis Angeles Gonzalez in the yellow is in a 3-way battle here for P5.
Nicely done. Cruz, I think, losing some momentum. They're losing some rhythm as he's now getting back in. Now he's firmly in the midfield with the battles between these two cars. Further back, though, there's also good to see that, who is that? Quintos has made some time. He's right behind. He's in the distance. Had that horrible first lap, but he's now up into 9. P9.
Yeah, let's have a look at Quintos. There he is in the white. He, as you say, he had that dreadful first lap. He was one of the ones that we did mention, but it's got a Jahan Kalam in close attention. Quintos, though, is 27 seconds adrift of the race leader. And I think the real action that we're going to get is the battle for P4. And this is Erwin Ramos in P4. Though Ramos has got himself a 4-second lead from Panlilio, Angelo Gonzalez and Cruz in that 3-way battle behind them. Erwin Ramos here in P4, in P5. Well, that is the battle to watch. And I tell you, Cruz has lost another place. Angelo Gonzalez has gone on the inside. Looks to try to pick up 2 places in one straight. And he's done really well. Panlilio doing his very, very best to defend. And he's just able to defend. And actually, Angelo Gonzalez loses the place he took from Cruz. Then takes it back, Alex Young.
Wow, nice. Some argy-bargy as well. If you're not rubbing, you're not racing, and these drivers know that. Whoa, a bit of contact as Cruz comes back on the track to tap the yellow car.
Angelo Gonzalez is the man in the yellow. Panlilio currently the man in P5. And right behind them, Angelo Gonzalez and Cruz are changing every 100 meters or so. They're changing positions now. It's Cruz who's got the lead. Angelo Gonzalez decides he wants to use a bit of the green stuff instead, and then he goes onto the overlay, and that is too far wide. He will lose an awful lot of time there, Angelo Gonzalez. And while they've been racing, Panlilio has just been able to grab himself a couple of seconds over Cruz, and with only 2.5 minutes to go, we could well have a decisive moment in the battle for P5.
Yeah, I think that's going to settle this battle at the moment. And like you said, 2 minutes to go, not much happening there. So you can see some of the drivers making some mistakes. It's nice to see them getting side by side. I think Cruz and Angelo were side by side for like half a lap, and just got a bit too much. And Angelo obviously had to get to the onto the gravel, so that would have cost him some time. But you know, we've seen more interesting things happen. He's actually closing that gap down to Cruz now. You know, he might get him before the end of the checkered flag.
I can tell you a little bit further down, this is a battle for P8 where Gab Quintos has just overtaken Jahan Kalam. Kalam was in P5 for a long time, but loses out there. Quintos has got himself a decent position. He's got Franco Angelo Gonzalez ahead of him. 1:25 remaining. Voltaire Seco, though, in wonderful isolation, is leading the way, Alex Young. That lead has increased lap after lap after lap, and he's got that best lap time down to a 2:11.986.
Wow, that is quick. I did not expect anyone to be in the 11s today. That might be a bit too quick. Seco obviously driving at a bit of a different level here. To be in the 11s this late stage of the race is very impressive indeed.
Mutoc is the only man who's anywhere near close, and he is 5.5 seconds adrift. But barring a calamity, this is going to be our race winner. He's in the... Where is he on the circuit? He's on the back end of the circuit, so he's probably just going to glide himself home and make this the final lap as he comes around this sharp right-hander.
Yeah,
Voltaire Seco is in the lead by quite considerable margin.
Yes, nicely done. Very smooth driving. And other than that spin in qualifying, I don't think I've seen him put a foot wrong. He's been hitting the apexes, hitting his marks. Looks like he's on the right racing line as well. And this will be his last lap. Nice and clean. He goes through turn 10. This corner is always tightens up to turn 11. Turn 11, like I said, is a tricky corner. I often use a bump when I feel I go over a bump through the seat of my pants. That's when I know when to brake for that corner. And then turn 12, massive curve there. Looks to be just right though. It'll be interesting to see what this lap time is, even though it's his last lap, seeing if he's pushing right to the end, using all the track on the entrance there. Nicely done. He's really driving well.
Let's just temporarily move away from him and see if Mutoc is under any pressure. Mutoc, though, he looks pretty clear as he moves down into P2. He's got a 1.5 second clear from Bernardo, who's dropped off a little bit, but it's going to be Seco who comes around the final corner for the final time. It'll be Voltaire Seco to take the checkered flag first in the CR1 Cup amateur race in the Philippine edition of eRacing GP. Victory for Voltaire Seco. LJ Mutoc coming through in second place. Third will be J. Lawrence Bernardo, some 14 seconds behind the race winner.
Yes, nice good battle for third position in the end. Ramos was right behind Bernardo at the end as they went through the last corner. There they are. Third and fourth position. Well, that was race 1 for Philippines edition. Well done, everyone.
And what we will have, Soto is still out on the circuit at the moment. He is still racing, but Soto is a long way adrift. He will be the last man to complete this race. In front of him, Keanu Dominado, who at one stage was in about P6 or so. Soto will be last, but the bonus for Darwin Soto, as he limps around the final part, is he will be on pole position in race number 2, Alex, because you have a reverse grid for the second race.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. So he'll be in pole position. Seco will be last. And the reverse grid race always throws up some great surprises.
But there is the final result. Fastest lap and the victory. So 25 points plus 2 bonus points for Seco, Voltaire Seco. But he will start at the back of the grid. Best lap, though, inside 2:12. Mutot second. Lawrence Bernardo third. Ramos fourth. Panlilio fifth. And Cruz in P6. So the man who really is setting the standard is Voltaire Seco, but he's starting right from the very, very back of the grid, which will cause problems, Alex.
Yeah. See all the cars. Can see all the cars are in the pit lane now as they get ready for the race to start. You can see the countdown on the top there, 38, 37 seconds to go. And they would now line up onto the grid for the reverse grid race. 15 minutes again. So it's going to be very tricky. First few corners, first lap, we're going to see, I think, a lot of contact. Drivers are going to have to be very careful as they do that.
Only the top 10 races, though, will score points. You get 15 for first, 12 for second, 10 for third, down into 10th position. Let's see how we are setting up. We've got just a few seconds until the red lights will go on. Reverse grid. We are underway, or under starters' orders. What kind of a start can Soto get? He and Dominado. Dominado in the black, Soto in the red and blue. We are underway. Soto gets off to a slowish start, and behind him, Calam is through. Schwab is through into P1. So Soto was on pole immediately, though, has lost one place at least, maybe four. Z has made a good race to get through. There's a bit of contact, a lot of contact on corner number one. It's Schwab who leads the way. Dominado in the black trying to edge through into P2, but this reverse grid, a lot more contact on the opening lap, Alex.
Yeah, a lot of contact. We said that's going to happen. Oh! Soto.
Schwab it is who moves. Well, Schwab comes back in, moves from P1 to P11. There he is right at the very back. Seco very sensibly has had a slow start and stayed right out of all the problems. He overtakes Schwab. He realised, I think, that there's a 15-minute race. Bags of time to actually get yourself up into a medal position.
Yes, a lot of time still left to go. So Soto's in P1. I have to have a look at that move at turn 3. He seemed a bit aggressive on Schwab. But he's, they were side by side. There was contact and Schwab spun to the inside. But, sorry, who
Francis Angelo Gonzalez is the man in P1.
Excuse me. Gonzalez is in P1. I got that wrong. Second position, Cruz. So he's also had a good start. So that's 2 races in a row that Cruz has had an outstanding start.
Let's hope if Cruz is able to hold on to this time. Calam has got himself into P3. Dominado after a poor start in P4. Panlilio is up there as well. Quintos, better race from him, and real contact there. Who loses out? Well, Seco, I tell you, is making real progress. Voltaire Seco, who won race number 1, has got himself into P11 at the moment. I thought temporarily he got himself up into a better position than that. But there is the winner from race number 1, Seco. Hasn't set a lap time yet. We're on the first lap going out. But he's kept himself out of danger, which is pretty sensible, Alex.
Yeah, he was definitely up to, I think, P8 or P9. So something must have happened in the middle sector. And he's dropped back again. Be interesting to see. I mean, there's still a lot of time. It's over 12 minutes to go. He can still get himself up, I think, into the top 3 or top 4 by the end of this race. If he can show the same pace he did in race 1, that is.
Back up to the front, we've got Francis Angelo Gonzalez leads the way, nearly 2 seconds ahead of Cruz, and Dominado a further 2 seconds adrift of Joriel Cruz. It takes this right-hander, Francis Angelo Gonzalez. Lot of contact at this part of the race in lap number 1, but he's got just free track ahead of him, and if he can just keep getting his angles right, make sure he's in the right portion of the track, he should be able to maybe just increase that lead, which is exactly what he's doing at the moment, Alex.
Yeah, he's doing it perfectly. Great opportunity in that first lap. Had a small gap after the first couple of corners, but he's driven superbly. Quite often we see drivers in this position, they have the gap and they suddenly panic and they start making mistakes, but not Gonzalez. He's had a very clean second half of that first lap, and he's been very clean to the start of this lap as well. Cruz also looks a lot cleaner as well. His lines look a lot more like that's where he needs to be.
Those two have got a big lead over Gav Quintos, who has got himself ahead of Keanu Dominado into P3. Dominado pushing wide, and Quintos, he was one of the names you mentioned as somebody to look out. Didn't really show in race number 1. Much better here, Quintos in the white in race number 2. Alex currently in P3 with Dominado, the black in P4, under pressure from Panlilio and Jahan Kalam.
Yes, Panlilio and Kalam had that contact on that lap 1 at this next corner, so they obviously dropped back a bit. 2 teammates, you could say, because they're in the same red-coloured cars, but I'm not sure they're going to be very chummy come the end of the race. But luckily they are still there. Often when you have that sort of contact, you end up in the barrier. Maybe your race is done. Whoa, trying to make an overtake on the curb. That was super aggressive on Dominado. Seems to have worked. And Dominado now was rattled by that because he's going wide and making mistakes. And now another car has come through.
Panlilio and Kalam both going through on Dominado. Alfred Z going very, very wide. A little bit further down. Seco gets himself up a position. And you can see that LJ Mutoc just at the back of your screens there. Mutoc is just shadowing every move that Voltaire Seco is making. There is Seco currently now up into P7. Mutoc has decided that's the man I need to follow. And there is the orange and sky blue of Mutoc. That's clever tactics from LJ Mutoc.
Yes. He's staying with the race 1 winner there, not losing any pace. Let's look at the lap times being done. Both of them are in the 15s at the moment, so they're obviously dealing with traffic, so that's holding them up a bit. But they've got a bit of clear air in front of them now. This is the time to put the hammer down and try and close the gap to the cars in front.
The car leading the way though with a near 5-second advantage. Franco Angelo Gonzalez. The man in second here is Gav Quintos, and Gav Quintos has got himself a 1.3 second lead over Joriel Cruz as he goes through. Behind them, Panilio and Kalam, who had that cracking little battle. 4 and 5 are ahead of Dominado. We're on board with Joriel Cruz, and I'm trying to see if he's making any headway on Gav Quintos ahead of him, or whether he's going to be coming under pressure from Panilio and Kalam.
Yeah, so Cruz obviously must have had a small mistake because he had a 2:18 on that last lap. I don't know if it was from battling with Quintos, probably. But now Quintos up to second. I think he's got the pace to pull away from Cruz.
There is once again the race leader coming up the hill at the backside of this Sepang circuit. We've got 9 minutes to race. He is leading. That gap though has dropped down. It was 5 seconds at one stage for Franco Angelo Gonzalez ahead of Quintos. It's back down now to 4, and maybe Quintos, as he comes down the hill, is beginning to make just a little bit of headway, but that's a very healthy lead. You'd like to have a 4-second lead with only 8.5 minutes to go in a race.
Yeah, and that should be enough, you would think, if he doesn't make any mistakes. Quintos is good, half a second quicker per lap, which should be that shouldn't be. He won't be able to close that gap, provided Gonzalez doesn't crack under the pressure. He needs to keep pumping out laps in the 13s or the 14s. If he starts going to the 15s and 16s, then he's going to become very vulnerable to Quintos.
What I can tell you, a little bit further down, Mutoc has got himself ahead of Voltaire Seco. Now, Mutoc was just shadowing Seco. Seco must have made a mistake, though, because Mutoc has gone in front of him. Seco tries to go around the inside on corner number 15. As they come down the start-finish straight, they will go now into lap number 4. Mutoc just able to hold on. This is the battle for P6. The sky blue and orange with Seco trying to maybe look on the inside as they come into this right-hander. Seco is able to get through but leaves the braking too late. Mutoc is able to get through back on the inside. Great battle between P1 and P2 in race number 1. This though is for the lower places down in P6, and Seco has retaken that position 6 from Mutoc.
That was a nice move by Seco, just super. Oh, is that Quintos off?
That is Quintos. Oh, so Quintos was in second and has had a bit of a catastrophe, and he is now down in P7 and recovers. That means that Joriel Cruz is the man who's in second place, but Franco Angelo Gonzalez's lead is now a massive 8.5 seconds. But Quintos here must have made one heck of a mistake, Alex.
Yeah, so I think he wanted that win and he was pushing really hard. But we were just talking about it. The gap might be too big for him to bring down in the time remaining, because Angelo Gonzalez has just done another 14, so he's been consistent. So Quintos knew he had to do something a bit more, and I think it's just pushing too much and he spun off. So unfortunately, that's another race where he's not going to finish that high up as he makes another mistake.
And Quintos allows John Lawrence Bernardo to go through. Quintos drops a place down now into P8. Let's have a look at P3 though to see what kind of a battle that we've got. And I thought that this was getting closer. Cruz is in P2 in the blue. Kalam and Panilio are right behind them. But look at this. Voltaire Seco and LJ Mutoc have got very, very close. So this is a 5-way battle, Alex Young, for
Yes.
P2.
Yes, we're watching the front of this battle between Panilio and Kalam. But I'm also looking at the battle behind because Mutak is looking around the outside of Seco.
Seco in the blue at the back as the contact again between Panlilio and Calam. Has it been enough for them to dislodge Cruz? The answer is no, as they come into the start-finish straight with 5.5 minutes still to go. They're on to lap number 5, and Calam has got himself into P2, Panilio into P3, and Cruz has lost 2 places. Well, just on that one corner. Behind them, Seco. He has a look on the inside. Seco goes on the inside of Juriel Cruz, and Cruz then spins, and that was a calamitous couple of straights there for Juriel Cruz. He was in P2. He's now down to P6, Alex.
Yeah, Seco got a bit lucky there. He braked really late. I think he's trying to defend from Mutic. But it actually worked out because there was a gap in front and he's actually able to overtake 2 cars in one corner.
So here, spinning out there, that's Seco. Lost it completely. He was making a move, trying to get a little bit further up, and all that hard work to get himself up into P3 disintegrated. He's back down now to P8.
Oh, yeah, I think his blood was up. He was enjoying that racing. He was like, whoa, I'm making so much good moves. And that does happen when you're on a roll sometimes. You think you can do one more roll of the dice and it's one too much. And that's exactly what happened. I think he was looking down the inside of someone and ended up spinning by himself. So, disaster for Seco. But I tell you what, he's not lost that much time. That spin was a quick 360. He can make a couple more positions for the end of this race.
He's got Gav Quintos and Juriel Cruz ahead of him, as he does have a look on the inside of Gav Quintos. But this, I tell you what, he was in a battle for this position, P2. Instead, Mutoc is sandwiched by the red cars of Panlilio and Calam. That's the battle you're seeing for P2. Mutoc, who had a second place in race number 1, is looking to get onto the podium once again in race number 2. And that'll be quite some result with under 4 minutes to go. As they come down the back straight, Mutoc has a look around the outside of Panlilio. Has Mutoc got enough of the pull from the slipstream? You know, he didn't quite get there. Panlilio closed the gate. Mutoc dives down the inside. Mutoc in that very distinguished looking sky blue and orange still looks on the inside, and Mutoc unable to get through. Panlilio holds on to P2, Mutoc 3, Calam 4, and Seco has got himself, as you suggested, Alex Young, back into the race in P5.
Yeah, P5 was a great recovery because I think it was P8 at that point. But like I said, the spin was quite a quick little 360 and he did not lose much time. So Seco, there he is, in the first of the blue cars in position 5 now. Is he close enough to maybe pick up another position before the end of the race? There's still 3 minutes remaining, Des.
And it's only 2 seconds that he's adrift. Mutoc has got himself up into P2. Let's temporarily look at the far, far distant leader. This is Angelo Gonzalez, Francis Angelo Gonzalez. His lead, Alex, is pushing 15 seconds. We haven't focused on him because he's been on a race on his own, but it looks like he is driving very neat and tidy. Hasn't made too many mistakes at all.
Yeah, and not surprising really because there's so much going on behind him that we were not... it's made his life very easy. Because it was at one point we thought Quintos might close the gap down, but Quintos then made a mistake, and then all the scrapping going on behind him. 14 seconds. Oh, that's luxury. He now needs his drive round. Don't use too much curb. Don't put a foot out on the grass and end up spinning, and the race win is his.
We've still got 2 minutes to go though. Just keep it neat, keep it tidy, and just make sure that Mutoc can't get too close. Mutoc has put a bit of distance between him and Panlilio. This is for P2. Panlilio is under pressure, as always, from Jahan Calam. Those two almost joined at the hip. They've come into contact several times. And Seco in P5, not able to really make any headway on those two. He's a second and a half down. Panlilio currently in the podium. Seco takes a good line on that last corner, and the blue comes through there, and maybe coming into this back straight can make up a little bit of time and try to get himself back up into a P3 position.
Yeah, there will be one more lap remaining. This is a long lap at Sepang, over 2 minutes. So this should be the last lap as they go around the last corner. One more lap and a corner to go for these drivers. Panlilio has P3. I think he'll be quite pleased with that after all the contact he's had. Like you said, him and Calam just seem to be joined at the hip this whole race and have had so much contact. Panlilio looks quite secure in third, but I tell you what, Kalam does not look very secure. He's got Seco all over him, all over the back of him as they go into turn 1.
This is the battle for P4. Kalam loses out. Seco tries to go on the inside. Kalam leaves the braking late, and great driving from Voltaire. Seco, winner in race number 1. He's got himself into P4 here, and he's got Panlilio in his sights. But 2 seconds in one lap, even in the amateur class, is a long, long way to make up, Alex.
Yes, it is. I don't think he's going to make that. So I think Kalam just a bit too conservative in turn 1. Braked so early and allowed Seco to just come down, steaming down the inside of him. So Kalam, I hope he's listening, because he'll need to work on his braking, because I think he can brake quite a lot later at some of those hairpins. But look, that's the man on the move right now. Seco up to P4. Like you said, it seems like a big gap to the guy in third, 2 seconds. But we know Seco's quick, and I don't know, Des. What do you think? You think he can close that gap?
It has got a little bit closer. It's 0.76 now. There's enough for drag very, very quickly. This is the race leader in splendid isolation. Back now to P4. Is he able to make any headway? They're now on the back end of this circuit. What are we? They come around this right-hand corner. This is 10 and 11. They've still got the 2 long straights to go. Seco is trying to work Darian Panlilio pretty hard, but Panlilio, to his credit, has just been able to pull away as they go down the hill. Seco trying hard to get close, but I don't think close enough, Alex Young.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Seco's trying too hard at the moment. He's all over the place. He's going to end up making another mistake with 1 corner to go.
Francis Angelo Gonzalez comes home 15.5 seconds clear of LJ Mutoc. Mutoc currently in second, comes into the final corner. Mutoc will take second place. The battle that we are really going to chase, though, is P3, where Seco has one final effort to get on the inside of Panlilio. Panlilio, though, takes the correct line. Panlilio 3, Seco 4. Kalam has got himself lost actually to Dominado. Kalam has got himself in P5 and Bernardo in P6. But a really good victory for Francis Angelo Gonzalo. Mutic back-to-back podiums. Panlilio just holding off Seco for the podium position, Alex.
Well, that was an exciting race. Very, very good indeed. I enjoyed that a lot. So what time are we up to now? 2:42. Okay, so actually I need to check on this, but the server is open for the pro drivers. They'll be out practicing at the moment. But great drive, and look at that, fastest lap by Mutoc. Good job there.
So different winners in each of the 2 races. That's good, and that enables us to actually get off first positions in the overall championship. We'll post those positions a little bit later up on our various Facebook pages, eRacing GP. Do follow this. Our race control is Alex Young. So, yeah. Alex, was there anything in there that you really need to look at? I'm particularly thinking of Panlilio and Kalam. They did come together a couple of times in that race.
They came together a lot, but I think it was a lot of sideways stuff, which could be down to racing incidents. If any of the drivers have an issue, what they do is they have access to these videos, and they will send me a video if they want to do a protest, and we will talk it over. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. At the moment then, we would have to change. Let's go to the screen here while we change our servers. We'll have a look at the pro class and see what those guys are doing as they get ready for their race. At the moment, they're out on practice. They have their own server, and they're out at Sepang, and they're doing the laps. And we'll see how they are going in just a moment.
Do join us again on eRacing GP. This is the Philippines edition. A very warm welcome to the Philippines edition of the eRacing GP Southeast Asia, the brainchild of Alex Young, who's in that screen. Oh, it's over there, isn't it? So, Alex, you've been able to localize the eRacing GP idea that we've got a global edition going on for. And we've got some very, very good Filipino drivers who'll be racing pretty soon in the CR series coming up. Tell us a little bit about what your plans are over the next month.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really excited by how much attraction, how much interest we've been having the global edition. And some of the countries, obviously, well, a lot of drivers trying to get in. Drivers from Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, also a lot of drivers there, you know. So we wanted to do some national championships for those drivers, try and help the guys who want to get into the global edition to try and have a bit of the same sort of experience of racing with some commentary and some analysis. And that's what we've done with the Philippines. So it's a really busy weekend for us. We got Philippines today, and we have a Pro and an AM class. We got Global Edition, which is where we see all the really good racing on Saturday in the GT3 cars and GT4 cars. And then on Sunday, we also have a new one. It's called the Causeway Edition, and it's for Malaysians and Singaporeans as well. And they'll be driving in a Tata's Formula 4 car. So it's just trying to mix it up a bit. It allows drivers who maybe a bit more newer to the sport, can't quite get into, say, the Global Edition, because there's only so many spots we can have for that. They can come and do the more localized racing as they try and get better so that they can get into the Global Edition.
And we'll be streaming all of these races. You've got three choices. There's a Facebook on the eRacing GP page. There's a YouTube, and also there's Twitch, which we are working on. And the Global Edition has also attracted real interest from broadcasters as well. So as well as the live races, we can get some edited highlights going out. And throughout the week, Alex has learned an awful lot of Final Cut Pro skills and has been able to put together some pretty nifty highlight stuff and a couple of promos, Alex. It's a learning curve for you as well as for the racers.
Yeah, you like those, did you, Des?
I certainly did.
Yeah, great fun. Good thing about this lockdown. I mean, this lockdown is this thing we're all going through right now. That's maybe going to change the world forever. It is what it is. We have to do what we can, and I've really enjoyed the time because I've got a chance to work with you and try and do this home studio thing and learn how to do Final Cut Pro. So Final Cut Pro is kind of interesting. It took me a while. It took me a good 2 days, and it took me like hours to do my first video. But I'm getting the hang of it now, and it's nice to try and get out those highlights videos so we can push it onto our social media stuff.
Okay, enough about you. Let's get on to the racing itself and the eRacing GP Philippines edition. There's one or two familiar names who are competing today. We've got 12 racers out on the track. Why don't you take us onto the three screen and let's have a look at some of the races that we can be looking at in the next half hour or so.
Sure.
So they're out on the Sepang circuit, and the man we've got there, Terence Lalave, he's one of the racers who hasn't really been able to make an impact when it comes to the global edition. But one person who has made an impact is this fella in the green car. He always wears sexy livery. There's Darryl Brady. He's a very, very aggressive driver, and Sepang is made for aggressive drivers.
Yes, I mean, Brady's good fun to watch. In the Global Edition, he races a green car as well, I think. It's a Porsche, doesn't it?
Porsche.
So I'm liking that he's sticking the same colours. It makes it a lot easier to remember the drivers. So he was really good in Sepang. The last race, Zhuhai. Very, very battling drives. A lot of diving from way back. Did cost him, though, I think, in one of the group matches. Group races, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying matches. One of the group races, he went backwards after being a bit too aggressive and having some contact. But we can always account for some exciting racing from Brady.
Other names who we should be familiar with, Joaquim Garrido.
Yeah.
He's in the Medico Racing team. Again, rather nice colours on the CR1 vehicles.
Yeah.
Garrido is again one of those who we've mentioned as getting close to the top of the leaderboard, but then seems to fall away on the global edition. At the more regional level, maybe one of the guys who might be able to step up a little bit. Yeah.
So he's in the GT4 class. He's been very quick on occasion, but he just, when it comes down to the actual races, he hasn't been able to put together, construct a whole day's racing yet. But that's what this is for. It's just to get some experience, race with some really good drivers, and keep working on your ability, your racecraft, so you keep getting better and better.
A debutant in the race series last week was Inigo Anton. He is out on the circuit at the moment, and he is one of 2 racers who at the moment have posted 2 minute 10 laps, so 2 minute 10.9 for him.
Yeah.
Quick.
So Anton's quite exciting, I think. A bit of a dark horse. He's young. He's only 15. Does a lot of gymkhana racing and stuff like that in Philippines. I think he's based in Manila. I'm not sure. But obviously got some proud parents and does a very good job. Did a great job for his first Global Edition races, right up there. Made a couple moves a bit. It showed his inexperience a bit, but for sure, with the pace he has already, this is going to be a driver to watch for the years to come.
We're just going to walk you through some of the cars that we're going to be seeing. They're in practice. You can see at the very top of the screen, 6 minutes of practice. An opportunity for the guys to get used to this Sepang circuit. A brand new racer for us, though. I always like the black liveries. Joseph Flores, he has set a time of 2:13, brand new for us, seemingly still getting used to the circuit, Alex.
Yeah. There'll be quite a few of these drivers also, because we opened the leaderboard quite late last week, so a lot of them have not done enough practice yet. So you can see that they'll be trying to use this time to understand the car more. The CR1 car is, you have quite a bit of understeer in it. It's a prototype sort of car, a bit like the CN class you get in real life. Has quite a bit of understeer though, so you have to learn how to drive around that understeer to try and extract the lap time.
I'm just seeing the undulations as they go around that circuit. How real to life is the sim experience? Because he's just zipped down a hill, has to control it. Does the sim replicate the undulations that we're getting at Sepang?
It does, but it doesn't feel like it, because you really don't get a good sense of gradient when you watch it on a flat kind of 2D screen. When you see it in real life, then you really understand the gradient. A lot of these tracks, and it's something all us drivers marvel at, especially when we practice on the sim or we watch it on TV, and then we actually get to the track and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of gradient. So like Sepang looks completely flat. It's not completely flat. There is some gradient in it, like you said, which and as for us race car drivers, we love it when there's gradient. Formula One went through this period 20 years ago, which each new track, they just flattened it, and I was really disappointed in that because it just took away a lot of the thrill. The old school tracks have plenty of good gradient, and that's what makes for exciting racing. So yeah, we love gradient.
Well, the real racing has got to take an enforced break at the moment. It's great to get the sim car racing. Fastest man out on the circuit is this fella, Luis Moreno, and we're hoping to talk to him at the end of this race. We'll get him on the line, but he's really got used to this circuit. A 2:10, 5:02, 0.05 of a second faster than anybody else out on the circuit.
Yeah. So Moreno is a very experienced Filipino driver. He's very quick, very good, and he won. He won last time out in Global Edition last weekend in Zhuhai. He won race 2 in his group. Really good race. Very, very consummate performance. Very stylish race win. So yes, he's experienced. He's what everyone will be looking up to. He will be favourite, I think, this weekend to win this the pro class here. His experience, I think, would just put him out a little bit in front of everyone else. But there are a lot of drivers that can compete with him. Clapano's just set a great lap. Clapano's shown very quickly in Global Editions, just behind him in the yellow car. Okay, good. So I know yellow car. Also another exciting driver, shown to be very quick. He's also got very much has the ability to win as well.
Now then, one guy who has yet to set a time at the moment, Oliver Aquino. He's out there maybe setting his first time. A beautiful looking livery. I'm not quite sure whether you call that silver or light grey, but it's a beautiful livery for Oliver Aquino. But so far not being able to set a lap time. Yeah. He's the only one out of the 12 drivers out there who struggled to do so. And he's running short of time with only 2.5 minutes to go.
Ash. I'm going to call that car Ash. Ash coloured.
I like that.
I think he smokes as well, Aquino. I'm not sure. I think he does, if I remember correctly. Very experienced sim racer, been in the community a long time in the Philippines. Very, very helpful to us in getting our information out there. A very fiery driver as well. He only started practicing for this yesterday, so he's not going to be at the front, I think. But he's a very, very experienced sim driver.
Explain fiery.
Fiery. It goes from 0 to nuclear. But a really good guy. Really enjoy working with him.
Well, has he set a time? The answer is, let's just follow him round. He hasn't set a time yet. Not that it really matters. This is practice, but you would like just to find out where you are compared to everybody else. Moreno still fastest at 2:10.502. Clapano and Inigo Anton second. Dean Jose, a brand new guy for us, is fourth fastest. But he is struggling around this circuit, Aquino. That is not quite the line that you want to take coming into this back straight.
Yeah, but it's quite often people run wide. Turn 14 is really the trickiest corner on the track. But I'm not surprised. I know Aquino, when he has enough time, he should be within a second of the pace, second and a half at the most. But like I said, he only started practicing yesterday, so he's going to find today a bit tough going. And that's the other thing I like about esports is e-racing is because it's accessible to everyone. If you want to get to the top, you have to practice. And that's not like how it is in motorsports. In motorsports, it's so hard to get on the track time. There have been years I've been racing where I've only sat in a race car 20 days of the whole year. And it makes it very tricky to get better. And you have to do a lot of visualization and a lot of... you have to do a lot of background work, but you don't actually get a chance to use your skills. So you often come to a track and you often get the established guys who are always there just because they have so much more experience, and it's hard to get up against them because you just can't get a chance to practice. It's not like that in esports and e-racing. It's accessible to everyone. So the guys who win, those are the guys who practice. And I like that because the guys that work the hardest should be the guys that win.
Yeah, the harder work, the luckier I seem to get is a phrase that forever runs around sports, and esports very much the same as well. So practice has just got 15 seconds or so to go. Then you've given the guys a 5-minute opportunity to put a qualification time. In a circuit like this, that is effectively one lap, Alex.
Yeah, that's right. 5 minutes, yeah, if they get out on it straight away, they should be able to squeeze in 2 laps. Sepang is a long track. But if they can squeeze in 2 laps, then they'll be doing well. But yes, I mean, it's quite exciting. I think it's going to be quite tight at the front. We had 4 or 5 guys in the low 10s, so it's going to be quite hard to call.
Okay, let's stick with Moreno. Luis Moreno set the fastest time in practice. Talk us through a flying lap here at Sepang, Alex Young.
Okay, so Moreno then, coming through the last corner now, set up his lap. Needs to make sure he gets a nice clean exit, get the car nice and straight. Come over to his left a bit before the start-finish line. Try and increase the distance before you get to the start-finish line, so you cross that start-finish line at a higher speed. Now, this long straight 1 kilometer before turn 1. Brake just after the 100-meter board. He's going for the wider line. Some drivers like to turn in and pinch the corner a bit to kind of do a double apex. But you have to have a really late apex for that first corner because it comes into turn 2. Dips down there. You often have the front left wheel, hanging up in the air. Now through turn 3, easy flat. Try and minimize the distance a bit on the exit. You don't really want to be all over the curb. Another long straight before turn 4. Turn 4 is a 90-degree right. Seems quite simple, but there are a couple bumps on the way in, so you have to be a bit careful of that. Use all the road at the exit. Now for turns 5 and 6, one of the 2 fastest corners on the track. They go into one another, so you have to keep to the left-hand side of the exit of the turn 5 before going to turn 6. Use all the road of the exit and a bit more. Nope, Moreno keeping it nice and clean, driving well within the car. Now turn 7 and 8, double right-hander. Carry lots of speed through the first parts, and then try and be flat through turn right, the second right-hander, turn 8. Use all the road, which he did. Looked very good through there. Short straight, now for turn 9. Turn 9 is the slowest corner on the track, along with turn 2. Uphill. A lot of uphill gradient. Now through this right-hander here, flat, easy flat through turn 10. Now turn 11, go all the way around the outside. Getting the turn in for this corner is quite difficult. He's using all the road and a bit more. Now turn 12, one of the fastest corners on the track. Small lift. Wow, he's not using as much curb as some of the other drivers in the other race. Now turns 13 and turn 14. Turn 14 tightens up a lot. Trickiest corner on the track. But for someone like Moreno, nice and easy because he's done many laps of this track before. He's purple in sector 1 and 2. This looks like it could be good enough for pole position. Long back straight now. Over 1 kilometer long this back straight before you brake for the last corner. A hairpin, but quite a long hairpin so you can carry speed as you go through this before making sure you get a good exit out of it to come back down the start-finish straight.
Luis Moreno, that's an early contender for the fastest lap as he comes through in a 2:10.266. That is quick. He was the first one out, but nonetheless it is a pretty fast lap. He's over a 0.2 of a second quicker than the second fastest Inigo Anton. Lalave, third fastest, nearly a second down, and over a second down is the experienced Darrell Brady. That was quick from Moreno.
Yeah, I think Brady must have had a bit of a messy lap. I wouldn't mind going back and watching Anton's lap. There's enough time to do a second lap here. And let's see if Anton, he's only 2/10 off pole position at the moment. Let's see if he can find a bit more time. See if he can steal pole position away from Moreno.
Well, this is on with Inigo Anton. Purple through sector 1.
So very good for sector 1, just under a 10th under Moreno's first sector. So that's good enough for pole. Of course, Moreno and Anton are both on their second lap, so they both have a chance to improve. Wow, he hugs all the curb there for turn 5. Kind of unusual. You don't often see that. Doesn't use the curb at the apex of 6. Kind of strange. Normally it's the other way around. You don't use the curb at 5, but you use the curb at 6. Looks like he's carrying a lot of speed through 7 and 8. We'll be coming to the end of sector 2 very soon. Be interesting to see whether this goes purple or merely green at this point. Now braking for turn 9. Looks clean. Ooh, a little bit sideways on the way in, I think. But seems to have just gotten away with that. He's purple. Purple again for sector 2, Des. So it looks like this could be online to try and snatch pole position.
If he's able to finish the lap in time, it is going to be mighty close to the end of the qualification period to see if Inigo Anton is able to get onto pole position. But as you say, purple through sector 1 and sector 2. Moreno fastest at the moment. Anton second fastest, to be fair, 2:10, 5:25. Looks to improve his time. At the moment, unable to improve that time. At the end of the qualification, it'll be Moreno on pole, Anton alongside him on the front row of the grid.
But there's enough time. The session hasn't quite finished. The qualifying results come up a bit early. Moreno's gone quicker. He's done a 9.9. But Anton, has he got enough time to cross the line to go even quicker? Can he challenge for pole position? Does he improve? He does improve ever so slightly, 10.5, but that's not good enough for pole position.
So Moreno, 2 fast laps. He will be on the front row of the grid alongside Inigo Anton. So very, very quick. And 2 of the guys who we've been following on the Global Edition setting the pace. Anton, we've only seen in one of the 4 rounds of the Global Edition, but he's certainly proving here to be one of the best Filipinos. Other than that, Oliver Aquino, I didn't see a particularly good time from Aquino, but first row of the grid, we are going to have Anton alongside Luis Moreno. Anton in the sky blue, Moreno in the black. It is a long straight to get us underway here, so you want to get off to a good start, otherwise you get just engulfed by traffic.
Yes, it is. Drivers now going from the paddock into the start-finish straight. Race will start in just under 20 seconds. It is a long drag. You can overtake to turn 1 after the start, and also out of turn 1 to turn 4.
Race number 1 about to get underway. The red lights are on. When they go off, we will be underway. It's a good start from Luis Moreno. Around the back, Duque's made a good start as well. Slow from Anton, who's been overtaken by Clapano into P2. But it's the black of Luis Moreno who got off to a good start, goes into the lead on turn number 1. Clapano, Anton, Brady, Duque and Aquino complete the top 6. Joaquim Garrido down in P7. Flores getting off to a very slow start, as surprisingly did Seb Tagulo, who is right at the back in P12.
Yes, car on the grass there, the inside of turn 3. Anton, not a very good start, but he's in P3. He's challenging for the lead now, looking to go around the outside, not able to do it at turn 4.
Brady in the green has got himself alongside Duque. Alongside them, you've got Aquino in the ash, which I do like. Aquino under pressure from Lalave, a little bit of contact on the back end as even the virtual spectator keeping social distancing. Good to see from virtual to reality. Brady has a look in the green. Can't quite get through inside Duque. Brady currently in P5, and then a little moment for Brady. And that will mean Brady loses to Lalave. Lalave ahead of Brady now up into P5. Duque just ahead of them in P4. But Brady, contact as they come up the hill, Alex Young.
Yes, look at that as they go up the hill now. Brady just managing to get away with that. So it's looking very good at the moment for Luis Moreno. He's had a great job to get off to a good start, and it looks like the guys are scrapping for second position behind him, will aid him as he tries to increase his gap at the lead.
Alex Young alongside Des Corkin in the commentary box for you. Let's go up to the leaderboard where Moreno, who was fastest, has got himself into a very good position at the end of the first lap. He is 0.8 of a second clear of Alexis Clepano and Inigo Anton in P2 and 3. Anton has a look on the inside as they comes into the hairpin at the end of lap number 1 of this 15-minute race. It'll be Moreno who leads by nearly a second from Clepano and Anton. Those three are well clear of Duque, Lalave and Brady in 4, 5 and 6. But a really good first lap from Luis Moreno.
Yeah, very good first lap. See the battle is position 2 right behind him. Anton looking to the outside while Clepano closes for the inside, covers the inside as he goes through 1 and 2. Not quite close enough. If Anton can get a good exit out of 2, no, he had a small, no, it wasn't the exit he wanted. The gap is too big. He won't be able to have a look at Clepano into turn 4. I think the slipstream is working. He is closing that gap, but no, not close enough. He's going to have to wait further along the lap because now the middle sector, it's very hard to overtake. Perhaps into turn 9 if he can have a good turn 7 and 8.
Clepano in the yellow is losing a little bit of ground on Moreno. The gap at the front is nearly a second now. Clepano will be very aware of what's going on in his wing mirror. Inigo Anton is the man who is really, really close behind there. There is Anton going through in the beautiful coloured car, and he's driving it pretty well as well. But Clepano, yeah, the gap ahead between Clepano and Moreno is just increasing a little bit further down. Christian Duque is leading a 3-way battle for P3 ahead of Lalave and Brady. Brady weaves in and out, tries to go around the outside. He's always spectacular, is Daryl Brady, if not always successful. Although Duque loses and spins, and Duque goes from P4 right the way down to P8, having been shoved aside.
Oh dear, we're going to have to look at that after the race, I think. I think Lalava had contact with him through turn 10. I don't think he was side enough. He was alongside enough, and that just pitched Duque into a spin.
Here is Lalave, who's got himself into P3 ahead of Brady. Behind Brady, look at this. Oliver Aquino in the ash grey is making a move here on Brady, but it's going through. Moreno is leading. There's a good lead for Moreno. Clepano second. Inigo Anton trying to weave his way past Clepano as they come into the start of lap 3. Now he's got on the slipstream here, Inigo Anton. Might be able to make a move on the inside. Clepano closed the gate. It's a right-hander at the end of this long straight. Clepano has the right line and Anton tries to go through on the inside. Contact once again. Clepano once again closes that door.
Yeah, Anton wanted the gap to be there in the second part of turn 1, so he tried to push his car there, but Clepano was there, wasn't a gap, and so there was contact. I'm glad Anton didn't pitch Clepano into a spin, but that means he lives to fight another day. It's quite interesting. These drivers are taking different lines. Clepano looks very quick through that second sector, but that third sector, it is all Anton. Anton is very quick through that third sector. And that's very important because if you want to overtake someone, you need to be good in that third sector because it's got those 2 long straights.
Well, with the race leader there, Luis Moreno, not far behind them, coming into the same right-hand circuit corner is Alexis Clepano.
Oops.
Anton really close. It's 0.01 of a second. Now then, Anton pulls out of the slipstream, tries to go the long way round once again, but Anton not able to get through that time. Clepano driving up the hill. Again, there is contact, but it's wheel to wheel, and Anton is having to work so hard against Clepano, and this time he is able to go through. Slight mistake by Clepano. More contact, Alex Young. You're going to be busy afterwards.
I think that was okay, though. It was side. Clepano managed to go... was on the inside. Anton goes around the outside of turn 12. Now he's on the inside for turn 14. Who can get the better drive out of turn 14? They're side by side. Clepano with the better drive around the outside is able to get that exit, and he's just pulling away now. But I tell you what, Anton's close enough. He's in the slipstream. He's got to have a look on the inside. No, he doesn't. Just shows his nose. He's going to try and get a better drive out of the last corner. Turn 15. He has got a better drive out of the last corner. That means he's firmly in the slipstream, Des, as they go down the start-finish straight.
So the slipstream could well be crucial. Clapano, we've seen him defend really doggedly, and once again he's just aware of what's going on behind him. Defends going into the right-hand corner once again, and under the most intense pressure. Again, Anton has a look on the inside, and again Clapano slams that door shut in his face. This is really good defensive driving. But all the while, Alex Young, Luis Moreno is going further and further away at the front.
Yeah, Moreno's got this one. Okay, but now Anton's looking down the inside again. This is great racing between the two Filipino drivers. They have been racing hard but fair, giving each other just enough room. There has been contact. But this is really good racing between these two.
Race number 1 of the eRacing GP Southeast Asia Philippines edition. It's round 1 of 4 that we are going to bring you. It's the Sepang circuit. Really good battle going on here for P2 between Alexis Clapano in the yellow and the man right behind him, right in his wing mirror, is Inigo Anton. We'll stick with this because invariably Anton is going to make another assault for second place. All the while though, Moreno is increasing that lead. It's up to 3 seconds. Clapano again takes the right line through. Anton has another look. Again, he can't make it through. Outside, there's no way. Inside, there's no way. Clapano closed that door as they go down the hill. In the distance is Moreno. Clapano, though, is under the most extreme pressure, Alex.
Yeah, so what's Anton going to do there? He's close enough to have a look down the inside of turn 14, but no, he focuses on just getting a good line out of turn 14 because he's going to try and make a move into the last corner. He's had a good drive out of turn 14. He's well in the slipstream. He can have a look. Clapano's covering the inside, so Anton's going to have to go around the outside. They go to the racing line now. Clapano's on the inside. This is going to compromise his exit. Oh, and he spins!
Eventually the pressure told on Alexis Clapano. A little mistake and Inigo Anton goes through into P2. It was almost inevitable, such was the pressure. A little bit further behind, Darrell Brady is making an effort to get into the top 6. He's right on the tail of the black car of Dean Jose. And right behind them, you've got Seb Tagulo, who's recovered after a poor start. This is Brady in P7. Jose in 6, Tagulo right behind them. That's the battle for the lower placings. Ahead of them, Moreno is leading by a long way, and Inigo Anton has taken quite a big lead over Clapano. Having taken 2 laps to get the better of him, he's been able just to get through. Lalave in P4, Aquino just behind him in the ash grey in P5. Lalave, little moment there, Aquino 5. Jose 6 though. Let's focus on P6 just for the moment. Let's see what Darrell Brady can do, Alex Young.
Yeah, I tell you what. The guys, the top 3, I think, is settled right now because those drivers are too experienced. They're not going to make mistakes at this stage of the race with only 5 minutes to go. But this battle for 6th position is really good. Brady was in that fight for 4th, but he's lost some places. He must have had a moment at some point because he's now finding himself down in 7th and under increasing pressure from Seb Tagulo.
There is Tagulo. He is in the darker green. Real pressure on the official gap is 0.22 of a second. Tagulo tries to duck up the inside. Brady tries to defend. Brady's able to hold on to that right-hand corner. That's nicely done, but this is another wheel-to-wheel battle. Tagulo changes the line of attack, goes on the inside, gets the drive down the hill. Tagulo in the dark green. Brady loses the place to Seb Tagulo. Tagulo now up to P7. No regrets racing, no regrets about that move as he comes round the corner into the back straight.
That was a nice move by Tagulo around the outside turn 12. Very well done. Brady now back to 8th position. Can he recover from that? It's going to look tough at the moment. He seems to be struggling with the car a bit. I wonder if tire wear is starting to come into play. It is ×3 for this track, and Sepang normally is very high on tire wear. I'm not sure with these cars at the moment. Who knows? We'll have a chat with some of the drivers after the race to get some more information.
Luis Moreno is the man who is leading, nearly 6 seconds clear of Inigo Anton, but pressure now on Anton. Clapano has managed to close that gap. Now then, we had some real dueling between these guys over about 3 laps earlier on, where it was Anton pressurising Clepano. Can Clepano get close enough to pressurise Anton and maybe reverse the fortunes in the final 3.5 minutes of this race?
Yeah, Anton must have had a messy previous lap because Clepano was very far behind. And Clepano's closed that gap right down. You know, Anton's going to come under big pressure before the end of this race.
Yeah, an invalid last lap for Inigo Anton. He is able just to pull away. It's 0.6 of a second, 0.6 of a second, the gap between him and Clepano. Little bit further down, Brady and Tagulo are still dueling. Let's just join that. Tagulo has got himself ahead of Daryl Brady. In P9, Christian Duque is under pressure from Joseph Flores, who is on his debut here on eRacing Grand Prix. And even further down, Sumo Dabila on his debut is a long way off the pace. Garrido just ahead of him. So just getting you right back up to between first and last. Moreno is the man who is leading the way. The battle, what do we want to focus on? I think it's Clepano and Anton. Clepano in the yellow, Anton in the sky blue. Looks like he's able to cope with the pressure, but Clepano battled under pressure not long ago, Alex Young.
Yeah, he did. But I tell you what, he's recovered really well. He's produced some really couple good laps to really close the gap to the young Filipino Inigo Anton. Now they're coming down the last corner in the slipstream, not quite close enough. Clepano just needs to focus on getting a good exit out of this last corner because there's plenty of overtaking opportunities into turn 1.
Right, they will be on the final lap now. Moreno disappears out of shot at the very front. Anton in second in the sky blue. Clepano third. Going over the start-finish line for the penultimate time is Lalave. Clepano has a look around the outside, but that right-hand corner into corner number 1 and then number 2 before they sweep round into that left corner and then they fizz around into the right once again. Always the elevation seems to get me in. Difficult for the drivers to keep control.
Yeah. Now down to turn 4 again. Clepano's not close enough, but he's looking very racy. He seems to have some extra pace over the driver in front of him right now. So Anton has got some pressure. And you know what? Anton's last lap was a 10.6, which was very quick. And so Clepano's going even quicker right now. So there's some really quick lap times coming just towards the end of this race. So I don't think tyre wear is the issue. And obviously as the fuel comes off the car and it gets lighter, it means the cars will handle a lot better. Now through turns 7 and 8. Whoa, Clepano looks like he's getting a good exit out of turn 8. If you can get a good exit out of 8, you can challenge it to 9. Yes, Anton's feeling the pressure. He's covering the inside. Clepano looks to the outside for turn 9. Oh, Clepano's off. Anton's overshot. He's overshot. Now Clepano's around the outside as they go through turn 10, Des.
They are neck and neck, wheel to wheel. Anton just able to hold on. Clepano, maybe by a nose, is just shoved a little bit wide. Come down the hill. Contact again. Clepano retakes P2. Clepano on the final lap has got himself ahead of Inigo Anton. These two have really had a fabulous battle. They come into the back straight for the last time. Quick look at Moreno. He will go and take the victory. Let's focus, though, on the battle for P2, though. Clepano in the yellow. Is the slipstream, though, from Inigo Anton going to play into it? Clepano takes the inside line. Anton must make his move now. He's gone again, Clepano. Same corner, same maneuver. Anton comes through into P2. Clepano on the podium, but loses it on the last lap. Lalave ahead of Aquino for 4. Jose comes in a credible 6. Tagulo ahead of Brady for 7. And Christian Duque will be in 9. But Moreno's victory. Quick words on him before we look on the battle between Anton and Clepano, Alex Young.
Wow, what a great win by Moreno. The experienced driver just showed his worth. Got to the front at the very early laps. First lap, in fact, and just was smooth as silk.
There is the end result. Moreno, he wins the points and he gets the fastest lap. So that'll be a 27-point haul. I think he was on pole as well. So a perfect haul on this race number 1 for Luis Moreno. And then alongside him, winning the battle for P2 was Anton ahead of Clepano, who span out not once but twice on corner number 15.
Des, that was such a great battle. Clapano had done all the hard work. Such a great move around the outside of 11. Got it done in Indigo. Overtook Indigo. But then on turn 40, you could see he didn't have a great exit. And allowed Anton to just get into that slipstream and creep up to him for the last corner. But Clapano had still done it. He'd covered the inside. I don't think he'd brake too late. Well, I mean, he had braked a little bit late, but he just tried to make the apex, tried to force the car to make the apex. And it meant it went round on him again. And he spun for a second time with that half spin for the second time at that corner. And that cost him second position. Wow, what a battle.
Now he's got to get mentally tuned for race number 2, the reverse grid. Clapano will be on the last but one row. Suma Dabila is on pole position. He's able to hold on. That's a decent start from Suma Dabila, who finished last, and he's been able to go into corner number 1, still in the lead. Great job by the debutant Zuriel Suma Dabila. But is he able to hold on? The answer is no. Joaquim Garrido in the cream goes through into P number 1. The Lave and Duque are battling it out a little bit further down. Clapano and Anton inevitably are having a battle as well. Luis Moreno instantaneously has got himself up into P7 with inside a quarter of a lap, Alex Young.
Yeah, that's a really good lap by Moreno. But also, La Lava, what a good lap as well. He's now dropping back now. It's, whoa! Who is where? I can't tell.
Well, Moreno's got himself up into P4. There he is. Actually, he's alongside Jose for P number 3. So that's a great first lap. Dropping down was that Tagulo dropping down? Inigo Anton Flores it was who span out a little bit there. We're on board with Joseph Flores. He will be a long way back. He can take his own sweet time, because this whole circuit now belongs to him. He's 20 seconds adrift of everybody. Up at the front, Garrido leads from Duque as they come up the hill here. This is 9 and 10, the right-hand corner of corner number 10. Garrido, who didn't really shine in race number 1. Duque and Jose battling out for P2. Now, where's Moreno? He's in a further battle down, currently in P5.
Yeah, he's behind the Lavos, who had a great first lap as well. But now let's focus on the battle for second position. Whoa, is Duque going to look down? Yes, he does. He sends it down the inside. Nicely down. Catches the driver in front of him by surprise. Makes a move. But now they're side by side down the back straight. Dean Jose in P2 now. But he's on the outside for the last corner. He's trying to intimidate each other. Who's who? I can't tell.
So Jose is in the yellow. Jose is just able to hold on, and Duque now goes through on the inside. It is neck and neck, the two black. Garrido it is who leads the way. So much movement behind them. Brady having a bit of fun as well. Duque, in the yellow in P2. Jose tries to get through once again on the inside in P3. Lalave is there as well. Moreno unable to make any real headway. There's contact as Lalave tries to push Jose out the way. In the meantime, Moreno is just waiting for the Mayhem to give him a chance to move up a place or two. Duque in the black and yellow, currently in P2. Jose and Lalave dueling in the same colour car just to make it completely difficult for us. Moreno then goes through on the inside in the red and black, but no way through once again for Moreno.
Yeah, so Moreno decided to back out of that because he didn't want to get involved. As the two cars in front of him still dueling. But I tell you what, Moreno backing off means that he's got Anton and Clapano all over his gearbox at the back, really. So Moreno's in a tough position. He wants to get through the cars in front, but they're battling so hard. He doesn't want to get involved in an accident, but he has to make a move at some point because the fast car's right behind him.
There is Anton in the sky blue, as you say. He's currently in 6th. Clapano once again is there as Jose, who was battling earlier on, he spins out. Lalave spins out. Moreno suddenly up to 3, and he takes Inigo Anton with him to 4, and Alexis Clapano Anton and Clapano together once again. I wonder if we'll see any more drama from them. Garrido it is, though, who is leading the way by 2.5 seconds. Duque in second. Moreno has a look on the outside, then ducks on the inside as they come into the back straight. Inigo Anton makes a move on the inside of Luis Moreno. And once again, Clapano is there in the taillights of Inigo Anton.
Yeah, it's all helping Garrido, who's making hay while the sun shines. He's pulling out front. Moreno down the inside. Can he make the move? No, he backs out of it. Duque just gets the apex nice, covers the apex all right, but it's compromises exit. Moreno's got a better exit than both the cars side by side now. And look just behind him, Clapano and Anton sizing both of them up as they go into turn 1.
Moreno and Duque dueling wheel to wheel. It's a right-hand corner, so Duque, if he can get there first, will take the corner in P2. Moreno still tries to go around the outside. Clapano takes advantage, takes Moreno on the inside. Well, I tell you what, there's no positional change there, but there was so much dueling and dicing. Clapano's got on the inside of Inigo Anton, and Clapano in the yellow up to P4. Anton drops now to P5. In the meantime, Garrido goes through in P1. Moreno has a look on the inside of Duque for P2. There's still nearly 10 minutes of this race to go. This is insane dueling.
Wow, this is going to end in tears, Des. I can just tell. It's when it builds up like this and drivers are unable to find a way, they get more and more desperate. And you can see Clapano's all over the back of Moreno. He's not going to wait. Moreno's got to try and make his move now. He does, down the inside of Duque into turn 7. Feeds through just nicely. Now will Clapano and Anton follow through as well?
It is, though, Moreno who's done a really nice maneuver to get ahead of Duque. So Duque is the guy now holding up Clapano and Anton. Anton goes around the outside as they come up the hill. Anton overcooks it but gets inside Clapano. Big gamble by Inigo Anton. He and Clapano going nose to tail once again. Clapano on the inside of Duque. And, Clapano in the yellow. Anton in the sky blue. In the meantime, they are dueling once again. They are inseparable, and Brady comes in to join the fun, and Duque goes down to 6th.
Oh, I don't know what to say, Des. Sometimes you have these battles where you have cars side by side, 2 by 2 for like a lap. We've had cars going 3 by 3 for a whole lap. That was so exciting. And again, Clapano and Anton, they're just tethered by like a couple foot string. They're always together. Brady!
Alexis Capano. Brady has a move on the inside. Brady in the green. He's just got himself in ahead of Duque, but can't make a move on either Clapano. Little bit further down, the ash of Aquino goes through. Tell you what, there's only 7 seconds from P1 to P10. Garrido leads from Moreno. They're a little bit further clear of this battle. Clapano in the yellow in P3. But as usual, he has got Inigo Anton for company.
Yeah, and Brady's really joined that battle, hasn't he? And just behind Brady is Duke. So they are, it's very close. But again, look, this battle, these two drivers are always fighting. It's allowed Moreno again to disappear in the distance. And now Moreno is catching up to the leader, Garrido.
He certainly is. Let's look at Garrido. The lead he's got now is 0.71 of a second from Moreno. Moreno has closed that in. Of course, Moreno won race number 1. Is after a race double, which in a reverse grid will be a sensational result. Behind them, Clapano in the yellow holds on to P3 ahead of Inigo Anton. Brady in the green in P5. More pressure on Clapano. He will be very, very aware, though, at the end of the back straight. There is a hairpin as up the front. Moreno has taken the lead ahead of Garrido. Or has Garrido got it back? Yeah, Garrido dives in front once again. Just able to hold on, but Moreno is chasing a win double here. Clapano able to hold off in P3, the yellow. Good defensive maneuver from Garrido, though, to hold off Luis Moreno.
He's defending too much, though. I mean, Moreno is not that... Well, Moreno's close now, but Garrido obviously looking in his mirrors too much, taking some strange lines, trying to defend everywhere. And now he has to defend. Moreno's just too close, and Moreno's going to get an excellent exit out of turn 14. He's going to take the lead now. Just Garrido's compromised his exit out last corner. He's going to not just lose a lead, I tell you what. He's going to fall out of the podium positions if he's not careful.
Moreno it is who is now the race lead ahead of Joaquim Garrido. Clepano has a look on the inside as Garrido is just barged off. Clepano moves now into P2. Anton 3. Garrido, as you predicted, Alex, now in P4 and under real pressure from Darrell Brady, even for a 4th position. So in one straight, Luis Moreno is able to take the lead, and with 5.5 minutes to go, 5:40 to go in fact, is on for a race double. In behind them, Anton on the inside of Clepano. Clepano takes it back.
Yeah.
Those two must have overtaken each other 9 or 10 times in the two races.
I tell you what, Moreno's got this one because there's now going to get quite heated between Clepano and Anton. There's bad blood between them. They're going to just take each other out very soon, which is all playing into the hands of Luis Moreno.
So Moreno has the lead. Anton in the sky blue once again has Clepano in his sights. He was able to just nick it at the end of race number 1 on the last corner when Clepano spun or half span and lost a position. Can Clepano this time learn from that double spin that he had in race number 1? Moreno's lead is only half a second. Clepano in second. Garrido has got himself a little bit of space there in P4 ahead of Darrell Brady. And behind Brady, you've got Lalave and Duque under pressure from Sev Togulo. But let's go back into this Clepano-Anton. Well, it's a duopoly that they're giving us. They're giving us bags of entertainment as Clepano just seems to lose the backside, but is able to hold on. 4.5 minutes to go, Alex Young.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, it's all been Moreno's way so far. I would like to see if Clepano can raise a challenge towards Moreno, maybe close that gap, because Moreno's not really been under pressure the whole day today because of the drivers battling behind him. And I would like to see how Moreno handles the pressure.
To his credit, he has come from P15 here today, worked his way through, taken advantage into P1 with 4 minutes to go. So he's responded to pressure of a sort. Now Clepano puts pressure on the inside. The gap is only 0.3 of a second as they come over to the start-finish line. They will complete this lap, and so it's probably 2 laps to go, Alex Young.
2 laps to go. Clepano, will he have a look down the inside? Oh, I don't think it's close enough, but Moreno does cover the inside. He does cover the inside. I was surprised that Moreno went for that. It's allowed Clepano now to try the outside. No! But now, Anton is there as well. He's had a moment as well. So Clepano will he get a good exit? It's too much curb on the exit there. I think that's affected his exit. And yes, Anton now has the inside. Oh!
Here they go, Anton in the sky blue is all over the back of Alexis Clepano. Clepano had eyes on P1 and now has to be careful of P number 3. What a duel these two, the yellow and sky blue of Anton and Clepano, have given us. Moreno, winner of race number 1 by a considerable margin, having to work a lot harder in the reverse grid race number 2. Inside 3 minutes to go, it's Moreno, Clepano, Anton. These 3 surely will fill the podium positions once again.
Yeah, Clepano losing all the curb on the entrance to turn 7. He's trying to squeeze every little bit he can. He wants that win. He's still got Anton right behind him in the blue car, but he's looking at that black and red car of Luis Moreno. He wants to take the lead. 1.5 laps more to go. Can he mount another challenge? He's got to be good. Moreno's very good out of turn 9, but Anton has been very good through turns 12, 13 and 14. Maybe he can mount another challenge down the back straight.
Just let's have a temporary look at Terence Lalave. This is the battle for P5 where Joaquim Garrido, who was a long-time leader, is trying to put pressure on the battle of Lalave. Lalave in the black, currently in P5. Brady is ahead of them in the green in P4. Garrido is 0.5 a second down. Probably not going to get close enough there as they come into the back straight. Back with the leaders. This is Moreno. The lead is only just 0.4 of a second. And we are on the final, or we're about to come on to the final lap of this race. So Moreno got a lot of work to do, Alex.
Yeah, I tell you what, Clepano had a very good exit out the last corner. Moreno will see that in his rearview mirror. These two have a bit of daylight between themselves and third place, Anton. Not close enough though. Oh, he does show his nose. Moreno doesn't react though. He knows Clepano's not close enough. Although he does run wide. He does react. He has run wide. He's braked too late, and that's allowed Clepano into the lead. Can he hold it? No, Moreno has the inside. Oh, another moment.
Clepano spins out for the third time and for the second consecutive race on the last lap. And the beneficiary is Inigo Anton once again. Clepano not only loses P1, he loses P2, 3, and 4 because Brady and Lalave have gone past. Now Moreno has half a lap to complete to secure back-to-back wins and a perfect first round of the Philippine edition of the eRacing GP.
Yeah, Moreno. Wow, he'll be happy with that. But I spoke too soon, didn't I, Des? Because Moreno actually had to work really hard for that for these last couple of laps. But it's not over yet. Anton looks like he's closing the gap. He is closing. Has a look down the inside of turn 9. We've seen Moreno get a bit flustered by that in turn 1 of the previous lap. But now he nails the exit now. And Anton has a small moment on the exit of turn 9.
Moreno is still able to hold on though. Anton is there. Quick look into 3 is Brady under pressure from Lalave. Clepano, well, P5 at the moment for him. Back to the race. This is the battle for the race and a double victory is on the cards for Luis Moreno. But he's gone wide. Anton has a look on the inside as they come into the back straight. Is this the moment for Inigo Anton, Alex Young?
Yeah, it's going to be too close to call. He's got the exit. He's got the slipstream. He can make a move into the last corner, Des.
Moreno in the black leads. Can he take it tight as they come to the hairpin? Diving around the inside is the effort from Inigo Anton. Anton can't get there. Moreno able to hold on for back-to-back victories. It's Moreno from Anton. Brady gets the better of Clepano into P4 ahead of Togulu. Garrido, Aquino, Duque into 8, Jose 9, Summer Dabila 10, Flores 11, and Lalave had a nightmare and finishes in P12. But back-to-back victory here for Luis Moreno. Terrific performance, Alex Young.
Absolutely. The pre-race favourite, if you like, really shows his class, is able to take the 2 wins, but it wasn't all his own way. Anton and Clepano definitely had the pace to win as well today, but they were just unable to do it at the very end.
There is Inigo Anton, back-to-back second places for him. Clepano got himself 4th place, but at one stage he was dueling for P1 on the last lap and could only finish 4th. But it's Luis Moreno with a win double who takes the victory after 8 laps around Sepang.
Well done, Moreno.
Moreno takes it. Clepano, consolation. He gets the fastest lap, but it's not a big consolation. A 2:10.137. But twice he had second place in his grasp in race number 1 and race number 2. Twice Alexis Clepano blew it.
Wow, Des, that was really exciting stuff. If the rest of the series is going to be this exciting, that's going to be awesome. I mean, we had 4 excellent races right now. Going to see if we can get Moreno actually on the phone. We're going to try and see if we can call him in a while. What else did you think about that, Des?
Well, it was the battle between Clepano and Inigo Anton, both in race number 1 where they overtook each other 3 or 4 times, and then in race number 2 as well. But Clepano, how old's Alexis? Is he a youngster? Because 3 times he really
20s.
did seem to buckle under pressure.
Yeah, early 20s. I think both those drivers, Clepano and Indigo, showed a bit of inexperience at times. Obviously, Clepano, 3 spins in 2 races. But Anton as well. You know, you could see that last lap. I think there was space to try for the inside for the last corner. He went to the outside, and Moreno, with his experience, was able to cover that. But I tell you what, this is why we see some very fast young guys coming up, and this is why we need to do more racing, because they will learn the racecraft, they will get better at it, and it's just good for the sport, full stop.
And it was great entertainment as well. The dueling between Anton and Clepano, even if that was just a battle between those two, despite everybody else going, despite Luis Moreno picking up back-to-back wins, that dueling was worth the admission money alone, which is 0. But it was terrific entertainment. Congratulations to both. But Alexis, you can't spin out 3 times in 2 races and expect to appear on the podium.
Okay, we're going to see if we can do a call now with Luis Moreno. Luis, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Mic check. Can you hear me?
Mic check. I can hear you. I'm not sure if it's streaming. I hope it's streaming. How was that?
Well, race 2 was more intense than race 1 because you're pretty much working the way from the back of the field, and then you've got a lot of opponents to deal with. And then at the when I was in the lead, I noticed Inigo and Alexis were giving chase. I think they were keeping up with my slipstream, or I may have battered my car too much because of some a little bit of trading paint or a little bit of rubbing with the other guys in the
Yeah.
middle part of the race. But somehow I pulled it off, although a little bit of an aggressive move on the last lap on on the first set of corners. So I may have to have a look on that one, see what really happened. But
Yeah.
good race nevertheless.
Yeah, it looked great. Like, trading paint, that's one way of putting it. Um, so was there a strategy in that reverse grid race? Because it looked like you were taking it very easy in the first few laps.
Not really. I'm just also trying to stay away from incidents, especially the middle part of the pack. There's so heavy traffic, very unpredictable. Even the other drivers have their own driving style, so you don't know when exactly they're going to brake or how they tackle the corner. I noticed some were braking a little bit too early coming into turn 14 of Sepang, and compromising on the back straight. So navigating traffic was quite a thing. And wasn't really taking easy. I was trying to be extra careful not to make a big mistake because you only have 15 minutes in this race, and if you make one spin, it could cost you the entire race.
Absolutely. So I have to ask though, you saw Clapano and Anton behind you. Were they quicker in parts of the tracks? Because sometimes it looked like you like out of turn 9, you were always very good out of turn 9, but maybe 12 and 13 they seemed to be able to close the gap just before the back straight, which
I think they were finding something at the first set of corners, turns 1 and 2, and at final corner as well.
right. Well,
But I was just focusing on my own pace. Yeah.
okay. Well, Des, anything you want to ask at this point? We've got the man of the moment.
Absolutely, you're the target now, Lewis. You got an almost perfect start. Your thoughts going into race number 2, which will take place next Friday?
I think it's just the beginning because a different track, it might suit the other driver's driving style, and we won't know until the actual race starts on Friday. But at least right now, Sepang's in the bag. But next track, I'm not sure if it's Raceway. I haven't.
Yeah,
I
it is
haven't.
Raceroom Raceway.
Oh, there, it's that free track. I haven't been there since 2013. I haven't drove that track, so it would be a challenge on my end this time.
Oh, good. One final question. Global Editions tomorrow. Are you looking forward to that? That'll be at Sepang as well.
Definitely. I pretty much ended up camping at Sepang already this week.
Awesome. Well done, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, an almost perfect
Thank you.
weekend there for Lewis Moreno. Thanks for joining us on the phone there. Well, that was pretty intense stuff there. Moreno picking up back-to-back victories, but the battle between Inigo Anton and Alexis Clapano just gives you a little insight on how competitive this Philippines edition of eRacing GP is going to be. We've got round 2 coming for you next Friday, round 2 of 4 rounds that we've got for you. Amateur race preceding the pros race, or the top guys race, in which you've just seen the race winners. Don't forget, we've got the global edition coming for you tomorrow. Again, we've got the amateurs right the way through to the final of the GT3 races around about 6:30. So we're on your screens, we're on Twitch, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube from 2 o'clock onwards. And then on Sunday, we've got the Causeway Challenge, the Singapore versus Malaysia edition. Alex, there's too much good racing, and if it's half as good as what we saw today, it's still going to be pretty sensational.
Absolutely. I've really enjoyed it. Glad to have you with us too, Des.